Hey guys, this is Vijay Benakal at Vijay's Tennis, where it is all things tennis. I hope you guys are doing really well. Okay, that click did not go very well, but anyway, just pretend that you didn't see anything. I look tired because I've been up all night trying to film this important video. I've obviously tried to film this video for probably 10 days now. I've been filming this video literally 20 times. And unfortunately, I realized that this video is going to be long, and I do hope that you have 20 to 30 minutes of your time because this is probably the most daunting and important and way out of my comfort zone of a video that I've ever done on Vijay's Tennis. And before I go on, just like to say thank you to customers, subscribers, and followers through my journey of Vijay's Tennis. I mean, you guys are unbelievable. I never expect I'd have that much. It's certainly unexpected, and I really hope you value my work and my content because I really work hard to put all of it together. And hopefully you enjoy it and you're entertained or you're learning from it, and I just really hope that you guys are loving life with VJ's Tennis. And come on, subscribe to my channel, please, because you know you want some VJ in your life, and you know he's one of the best dudes that you can, you know, get entertained by or learn a lot of things. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. I just hope that you guys value my work, and I really sincerely appreciate all the support, so thank you guys so much. Whew! Okay, so now that's out of the way. Oh boy. Alright, so this is my 25th attempt. How am I going to start this off? Alright, so I'm going to be sharing to you a story in hopes that it will motivate, encourage, inspire, and challenge you. Because I'm going to share to you a story, true story, where 2015 was the best year of my tennis. And I'm going to be sharing to you my miracle season of 2015, where I played undoubtedly the best tennis of my life. And 2013 or 14 is where I'm going to start because that was the period where I almost quit tennis and I didn't know whether I was going to come back or whether I was going to, you know, dominate or motivate myself to keep going, but also to win matches again because, yeah, I went through a lot of struggles, and tennis is very demanding on all sorts of levels, and it requires the best out of you in order to perform. And I hope that this video will help encourage you guys to keep going in this sport because tennis is an amazing sport, and the sport really needs you. And if you are thinking about quitting, well, don't quit just yet because I need to share to you this story. And like I say, if you have 20 or 30 minutes of your time to watch this video, grab a cup of coffee or a popcorn and sit back, relax, let me explain my story of what I really went through, and let's get into this video. Anyway, so sorry guys, I literally just got back from streaking 2 rackets in 1 hour, and it is an emergency, so I had to get that done straight away. And if you can't tell, it is dark and I'm putting the light on. So anyway, let me get back to what I was doing. So sharing you the story of what happened in 2013 to 2014. That was where I was at my all-time low. And I didn't really know what to do in terms of my professional life, my personal life, my tennis life. I had no direction. I had no support. I was facing all the odds that were against me and not for me. And I faced a lot of criticism, adversity. I gone through the loss of my dad, which was still affecting me at the time. Even though he passed away when I was young, but it was still affecting me. I went through dropping out of year 12. I did not like high school at all. I was not convinced I was happy there. And of course, I gone through like social life problems where I lost quite a lot of friends along the way, and it may have been partly my fault, but also it could have been their. It could have been on their fault as well too. So I went through social pressure, life pressure, my professional problems where I didn't know whether I wanted to study or get a job. Although I did took up tennis coaching and I was still trying to stick with it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to continue it long term. So I was still learning, I was still grasping how to coach and all learning all the materials, the methodologies, and all that sort of stuff. So I was still learning at that time. Um, and I mixed through coaches to coaches. I mixed through clubs to clubs. And I didn't really feel like I was fitting in or gelling with the group or with the coach that I really wanted to work with, which was a huge disappointment. And in a way, I wouldn't say I was getting bullied or have that vibe where people were thinking low of me and not high above me or equal as everybody else. But that really made me quite angry and I was not impressed. So, even though I mentioned all those problems, there is something that I do want to highlight to you. And that is, it is my fault, but it also isn't my fault either. And the part that it is my fault is because dealing with all these problems, I just wasn't sure what to do with it. And I could have done things a lot differently in terms of finding a job or how to make income or how to approach my tennis in a different way. Maybe I should have focused on the process and not the results. I should have maybe asked my coach whether I wanted to work on this aspect or that aspect. And because I was losing a lot of tennis matches, my anger and frustration basically begin to surface. And a lot of coaches I was getting taught by during 2013 late to 2014, they didn't really feel like they wanted to coach me. Oh, I felt like at that point, I remember coming from my training session, and my mum always drops me off to playing matches or going to the Australian Open or all tennis related. She was like massive for me. So she did everything for me in the tennis world, and I came back from training session one day, and I was playing at a club where I wasn't popular. I was basically treated very differently, and it wasn't great. Put it that way. And my mum said to me as I was finishing off my training session, she goes, Vijay, I don't think they're looking out for you. They are just rallying and hitting balls and not teaching you specifics. And at the time, when I first heard that, I immediately knew that, okay, there's got to be a change. I got to do something. And, yeah, so I really highlighted to myself that, okay, I need to look somewhere else. And going back to the part that wasn't my fault, it's just I had no clue. I didn't know how to approach tennis in a certain way. I didn't know where to start. I had a lot of problems and issues to deal with, which caused my tennis performance to a very absolute low. Like, I couldn't focus. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't put my mind to it. And I was just struggling. And I didn't have the right support. I wasn't getting taught the right things. Went through all of those negative vibes, and that's also why I could also say and vouch that it isn't really my fault either. So, like I say, it was my fault, but it isn't my fault either. So, those were the problems that I was facing from 2013 late to early or middle 2014. So here's where the critical moment come into play here. So this is around about 2014 in June. And I know a coach, and he is one of my best mates in my life today. I knew him through coaching, and we have a really good relationship together. But I was actually hesitant to whether to ask him if he wanted to coach me. In fact, I actually was talking to my mum, and I said to her, I'm thinking of maybe asking him. And she was actually thinking more of it than I was thinking of it. And she says to me, Viju, go ask him and see what he can do. I'm like, alright, okay. So I asked him, I said, hey bro, can you coach me? And he's like, yep, I'll do it, 110%. And when we got to our first coaching session together, I was, mind blown during the next course of the next few weeks of what I was learning. And this is some of the stuff that I've never been taught at all. Like, I didn't even know how to use my contact movements in my ground strokes. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that there were two types of continental grips, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know anything about stretching or warm-ups, or didn't even look at my diet, although I was trying to eat healthy though, but I didn't really learn the full grasps of it. But I was obviously doing my own research and, trying to work out how I was going to eat, how I was going to sleep. I was going through things that was just basically like, what? Like, what? Like, what is this? Like, what? And even I felt like at times, I swear, I was like, man, this coach, I feel so sorry for because I just didn't know. And I couldn't really figure out until when he told me literally everything that I needed to know around that time. And the things that I had to change was, my diet, my sleep, my habitual lifestyle. So making lifestyle changes, incorporating my fitness. So I was doing running, muscular and balance exercises, and incorporating stretching, which stretching is something that I've never done. And in fact, I was stretching probably the first few weeks or few days, going from 15 minutes of stretching to then doing 30 minutes of stretching per day. And I really started to see the results of how my body was progressing, and I was a lot fitter. I started changing my serve, tweaking the continental grip slightly. I incorporated the right body movements into the serve using my leg, hip load, leg drive, all that sort of stuff. But the big change was on the serve, I had to get rid of my full motion on the serve to sticking with a half swing. Now that was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. And when I was doing the changes, doing the routines, changing the way I think as a player and not like an amateur player, no offense, when I did the half swing serve, there were so many people looking at me weirdly and thinking, okay, this kid's destroying his serve. This kid's got no hope. He's not going to do anything. And yeah, I looked at myself and I'm thinking, why did I do this? But I said to myself, okay, but there is some goods out of this. Like, I'm able to use the body movements. I'm able to set my serve up in good position, even if people didn't agree with me. Honestly, I couldn't care less. And I learned how to do pronation on the serve, which pronation is such an important one. Also learning to use technique without, using too much of my body. Well, actually, like, in an injury way. Of course, you obviously use your body to hit the ball and not just your arms and shoulders, because whoever tells you that, that's not correct. But I was trying to limit the stress on the body, so, changing my technique and all those sort of things. I started to learn tactically how to play better by keeping the ball in the court, and if I don't miss, I don't lose. So just working on the basics, taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, sort of sequence, and and this coach is amazing. He gave me everything, and he even came to watch me play a few matches, and all of that. So it was absolutely incredible for the work that he was giving me, and I appreciated every minute of it. And he really believed in me and supported me. So, now that I incorporated all those routines, improving my fitness, doing muscular and balance exercises, or stretching, or running, and I was doing that every single day, or if it was running, I'd probably do 4 times a week, or something like that. Anyway, it was a long time ago, but I remember doing these things. Doing the warm-ups, doing all that sort of things. So I was putting in a lot of hard work. And coming from playing 2014 Vic Pennant, which actually was my very first ever Vic Pennant, I lost quite a lot. I lost a lot of matches more than I've won. It was actually crazy and ridiculous. I even won a grand final for a summer season of Seniors Pennant in 2013 to 14 season. We did win the grand final, but I didn't win any matches on that day. So I was still going through all those, doubts in my mind of whether I was going to play better again or come back to the way I was. Anyway, I played in 2014 and 15 summer season, and my coach that I was working with, my new one who basically showed me every single rope that I possibly could, and basically he came to watch me play a few matches, and we analysed some tactics together, and we started to grasp all those information and data that we really looked into, and he did a phenomenal job. But even though I was doing everything in my power to do what I can, I still was losing the first 3 rounds of matches. And I was still thinking to myself, well, far out, if I'm putting all this hard work, then why am I not going places? Why am I struggling? Why am I I was still feeling sad and upset, and so that was even more painful. But I said to myself, no, I'm going to stick to this because I feel like there's some good benefits out of this. And I've changed a lot, and I feel like that was a massive positive for me. And even though I was still facing adversity and criticism from many people who didn't really appreciate me, I just said to myself, no, don't care, still doing it. Anyway, after my first 3 rounds, I went to my coach again, and I said to him, man, I don't even know what's going on. Like, what am I doing? And, we had some massive chats about it, and we talked about body language. In fact, we made some jokes, and we kind of laughed about it as well. And, the biggest thing that he taught me about body language, because it is all about physiology. So, now, I'm not an expert on physiology, but when you have your shoulders back and your head up, chest out, it is actually impossible to feel not good. Like, you feel good. Like, you have that sort of, pizzazz or that fire, So we were improving my body language and trying not to show any emotion when playing matches, even if I'm down, whatever. I just, I did not show a single emotion. And from that moment on, I was very good at it. And a lot of people probably wouldn't believe me because I do have a very emotional, sometimes I can have temper, sometimes I can get angry, but that time, man, nobody would think that I was that caliber or that type of person. So I improved that, and still doing the routine, still sticking to the half swing serve, doing my fitness, my routines, my training, practicing serves and working on the new serve technique and all those sort of things. The results towards the end of 2014 started to get better and better and better, and then I was able to win matches. So I'm like, okay, here we go. This is coming. This is coming. I'm like, I'm pumped. Let's go. So, then I went on to 2015. And I played the second half of the season of Summer Pennant, Seniors Pennant. And we weren't even qualifying for finals, but because of the wins that we had, we came from outside the top four, our team, to coming in the top four and qualifying semis and taking third place. And we played the second place team, and I thought to myself, okay, look, these guys are probably going to win, so I got nothing to lose here. Just do whatever you can. Just do everything that you've been taught to do. Just focus on the process. Doesn't matter what people think of you. Just do it. Anyway, so we were at a situation where we couldn't make the grand final. I versed one of my best mates' dads, and he knows who I'm talking about. I was down 5-3 and saving 2 match points. Now, if he won one of those points, the grand final was over. We wouldn't make it. Because you have to win 3 matches to 2 as an overall team sort of event. Anyway, I came back from 5-3 down, saving 2 match points. And I hit return of serve winners on both match points. Inside out, forehand, cross court. And I still don't even know how I did that. So I came back from 5-3 down to winning 7-5, ace on match point. With a half swing serve, by the way. And it all came together. My mum was watching that day. She was smiling. I was smiling. But then it's not over yet because we had to win the doubles. And we did win the doubles. And we made it to the grand final. And we versed the first place team. Unfortunately, we lost. But I did win 2 of the 3 matches that I played on the grand final that day. So I ended up being in the final. And I was very happy with the progress that I made in that feat, and I was very, very happy. But before I played the grand final, it was on Labor Day, I played a men's open doubles tournament at the club that I wasn't appreciated. And everyone was asking me, oh, why are you not playing singles? And I said, well, I got other things to focus on. I'm just doing my thing. And then they were giving me all these weird looks and all this and that. And there was all these psychological warfare stuff going on. And you know what? I just said to myself, doesn't matter. I'm doing what I'm doing. I have a job to do. And I'm not going to let those people stand in my way for it. So I decided, okay, my mate Benny and he is a big supporter. Really, I appreciate him. There's no other better words than that. He really supported me in doubles, life. He's a very good doubles partner and also a very good friend of mine. Still best mates with him today, and I hope he is watching this video. So we played at the tournament at the club that I wasn't appreciated, and we won the first round 6-love, 6-3. We won the semi-final, 13-11 in the super tiebreak. And mind you, still using a half-swing serve, still incorporating those routines, still facing against all the odds and all the pressures and all of that. I was still going through it. And then we played the doubles final, and we won 6-3, 6-4. I remember hitting a backhand cross court for a winner to earn the first set. And I was like, come on! Like, I was like pumped. I was wrapped. Anyway, and then I came home after that match, and my mum was looking at me and thinking, oh, it didn't go well for you, did it? And I showed her the trophy, and it says winner, and you're like, and she was very happy, very ecstatic, and I remember celebrating with her that day. And then I had some like Indian sweets and all of that at the time because we were just celebrating that success. And that day was the moment where I proved everyone wrong and myself wrong. It was just an incredible day. Then shift into Vic Pennant 2015, my second season, I bumped up to grade 7. Now here's a happy ending for you guys. Even though, and also actually, before I say the happy ending, I actually did change to another club, and I actually spoke to some of the boys who was actually a half an hour away from my house to play for. So, and they actually asked me, are you sure you really want to do this, BJ? It is pretty further away. Well, I'd like a fresh start, and I want to make a good comeback. So, are you going to allow me or not? And they said, bro, we will allow you. We will open our arms to you. It's open for you, mate. And we would love to have you on board. And they appreciated that. In fact, I actually burst them in 2014 Vic Pennant. So I knew him, and we had some really good chats, and I thought, okay, these are the guys that I really want to play with and do it with. So, the happy ending. I came into Vic Pennant, played number 5 player. I was a number 5. And I won all of my singles matches undefeated with a half swing serve and dropping 1 set. So, then my results showed, and I remember playing my final singles match of the season, and we did also made it to sectional semi-finals as well. And I won my last match, 6-love, 6-3, and my emotions was just like, how? What did I do? How did this all happen? I didn't even expect to be undefeated in Vic Pennant. Playing grade 7. Yes, I was number 5 player, and people can argue with that. But, guys, I came from 2013 and 14 summer pennant. You know, even though winning the grand final in that season, I didn't win any matches in that grand final. Then I played 2014 Vic Pennant, and I was facing all the problems and the whole process of negativity going through that season. I lost so many matches. I didn't win any matches. And I was at that point where I wanted to quit. Then I turned it around in my next season of summer season, and I started to win matches towards the end of 2014. Then won a doubles tournament, made a grand final in summer of 2014 and 15 season. We even bet the second place team in the semi-finals. I won 2 matches out of the 3 that I played in the grand final, which was better than not winning a single match in my last grand final. Then played Vic Pennant and undefeated in singles. Look, if that isn't a miracle comeback, and hey, sure, I didn't play ranking tournaments because at the time I felt like I wasn't good enough. But I just did the most unthinkable comeback, and I never thought I would have made it that far. And if I did quit, and if I listened to the doubters, I listened to the haters, I listened to the unbelievers, man, I wouldn't be sharing this story to you. And I empathize for you guys that it is a hard sport to overcome by, especially when you're going through losing a loved one, or you dropped out of school, or you don't have people to support you, or maybe financially you can't afford to play tennis, or there's so many obstacles, and I may not have the same pain and the same suffering as you, but once you stick to the process, you get rid of the people who are thinking differently of you. You accept that you've made mistakes, and then you can move on, and you can have the opportunity to change and really commit and put so much work into doing what you're wanting to accomplish. Boys and girls, I'm telling you, you are going to go places, and I hope that this does inspire you and tells you to keep going in this sport, because man, if I didn't, I wouldn't have shared this story, and maybe I wouldn't have done Vijay's tennis today. So, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I want to help inspire the younger generation, the older generation, and hey, whether a small tournament, whether a small comp, ranking tournaments, ATP, WTA, I couldn't care less. As long as you are content and happy with the way I was, and that was huge satisfaction, huge relief over my shoulders, then it will be so rewarding, and I hope that you don't give up the sport, because the sport needs you. And I'm telling you, if you just stick to it, man, then I will be very proud of you, and I will be rooting you all the way, whoever it is. And please comment down below if you have gone through something similar, or you want to contact me or email me, or even whatever it is. Please, I would love to hear those stories, because it's very good to hear them. And if you are also interested in online video analysis tennis coaching, why don't you contact me in the links up there somewhere, because I really want to do Vijay's Tennis as a platform to not only provide content, my life of tennis, and all of those sort of things, but I really want to help you, and I want to help you get to the next level, and I really want to see you get on the field and actually just show them who's boss. Because and also the other thing is, look, you are going to get tired, you are going to get frustrated, you are going to get angry, you are going to get sad. There's plenty of negative things that is going to come into your life. But I promise you, find the right people, make sure that you have the right support, and make sure you do your own diligence, make sure you put in the hard work, and make sure you change. Because really, ultimately, it's up to you. You can have the best support in the world, but really, it is ultimately up to you. And once you do that, the results will come, and it will spin and spin and spin to the very top. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and comment done, D-O-N-E, so I know that you have watched all the way to the end of this video. Guys, don't give up the sport, because it needs you. And I really want to say I love you, I appreciate you, and look, you made mistakes, you learn from them, you forgive people who did wrong to you, whatever it is. It's not an easy walk, okay? But I just hope that you take this video, use it well, and just fly high, my friend. Fly high. Anyway, peace out. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. God bless. I love you. And all the best with your tennis. And don't give up the sport, because it needs you. Good luck. Be safe out there. God bless.